nobody kiss it like you. Don't nobody kiss it like you. Bang, bang, bang.
What's good, T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with a new Spill the Tea video. You all know last week the internet streets was piping hot with the news that Twitch, the co-host and DJ and choreographer wife, Allison Holker, had wrote a memoir where she discusses the passing of her late husband and how after he passed, she allegedly found out all of these secrets of his, like the fact that he allegedly was on Schmugs, right? Well, all of Twitch's friends, co-workers, family members came out the woodwork defending him. I did a video on it. I'll link it at the end of this video. But his friend, honey, really stepped big and came with actual receipts to air Allison out. Let's take a look at the video where he puts her on blast.
The homies is walking up out. You got Courtney spoke up. You got Andy Lasser spoke up. Ellen DeGeneres says he was with Steven every day. You see him speaking up. You see Phil Wright spoke up. Phil said, man, I'm sorry I didn't speak up earlier. Sorry, these are famous people who can lose jobs, who can lose brand deals. These people just speaking up. And here's the thing, for 2 years we was quiet, y'all. We was quiet. We had to sit quiet in that funeral. And the funeral looked like 1921. It was segregated. It was all the white people, a whole bunch of white people over here. I mean, you should have seen it. You should have seen it. She got up there talking about, every day it was magic. All his friends who knew was just sitting there. We were just quiet, out of respect. We've been quiet. This is the year where the toxic woman comes down, bro. Bro, I'm telling you. We was quiet for the sake of his kids. We was quiet for his mama, man. His mama, y'all. His mama. His brothers. We was quiet. And look at Courtney Platt. That's a famous person. Her husband famous. She came out and said, look at Comfort. She just the associate choreographer, bro, for the movie Wicked. It just came out, bro. Are you hearing me? These ain't regular people. These ain't people who just ain't got nothing to lose. These people got everything to lose. And that should tell you this. Here's that should tell you what type of person he was, that he ain't even here in the physical form. But the people who are here are ready and willing to lose behind defending him. So let's go ahead and shut this on down. Let's shut this all the way down. So she's on TV portraying this image, right? Like, mental health and blah, blah, blah. Listen to me. That lady don't care about his mental health. Listen to this.
Listen, you actually think that it is cool to make his mama sign an NDA to see his body?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God.
I would do it again. I would do it again every single day for the rest of my life if I needed to.
To see his body.
Again and again and again.
Why would she need to sign an NDA to see his body?
It's great. But also, I don't understand how y'all don't understand that Stevens even asked her to do it.
I got your ass. I told you.
He didn't ask her to sign an NDA to see his body.
What's this?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Did anyone ever tell you?
What's this?
In a party, an NDA for a party, NDAs for a party.
And asking his mother to sign an NDA
No. It's not the same thing. I have had the NDA to go to the funeral. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I just said Stevens asked her, have to sign an NDA. No. Did you know this?
That's different than signing an NDA.
No. That came from Steven. But I'm also in the industry and I know that. And also, I don't know all the people that were in that wake. By the way, because you're asking this question trying to set me up. I didn't know the people that were invited to that wake.
No, I'm not trying to set you up. I'm asking you, you would never post a picture of Steven in the thing, right? So if you say you wouldn't, why would you think that Connie would do that? That's what I'm asking you.
I was also going off of advice from people. So, I don't know. I've never done this before. I don't know why everyone expects me to have done this before. But also, just so you know, by the way, meanwhile, do you know that Steven has asked Connie to sign an NDA before? This was not her first time signing an NDA. I don't know if you knew this.
I mean, I've signed NDAs before. I think it's more.
Connie had to sign an NDA to go to one of our parties. Did you know this?
That's different than signing an
And
NDA.
No. That came from Steven. And Steven wasn't like, don't make my mom have to sign an NDA. No. Connie had to sign an NDA for Steven to come to a party, and Steven asked her to sign it.
Allison, I'm saying.
This is not. So don't.
I'm saying her signing an NDA. I'm saying her signing an NDA to see her son's body. Her signing an NDA to go to the funeral. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I just said Stevens asked her before she could come into a party.
That's different. You don't understand how that's different?
Okay, so wait, was Steven wrong in asking his mother to sign an
No. It's not the same thing. I've had family sign NDAs for like different things. I'm talking about to make his mama. So you telling me you don't see the difference in a party? An NDA for a party, Allison, other than...
Okay, well, I know this. I'll say this.
Then making his mama see his...
Steven would definitely have my family... By the way, my family also had an NDA, no questions asked. It doesn't matter who it is. It was protecting Steven, and it was the right choice.
You think that was protecting Steven, making his mama...
Pause. It don't matter who it is, she said. It don't matter who it is, she said. Let's keep it going. Because apparently, that woman seeing her son's body is equivalent to going to a party. Lord Jesus, help me keep my spirit right.
His body.
I've been celebrating.
That was protecting Steven, making his mama sign an NDA. To see his body?
So it was a good choice for me.
To see his body.
I've been celebrating. Outside of y'all, I have been celebrated from how I've handled this and protected Steven.
Listen, you actually think that it is cool to make his mama sign an NDA to see his body?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my
God. I would do it again. I would do it again every single day for the rest of my life if I needed to. So don't come for me and try to all be like this awful you guys were being about me.
Allison, like we ain't got to yell. We didn't talk, Allison, because you didn't answer.
Just yell.
So Allison, if you can be on social media, Allison,
I was crying in my backyard for almost 4 months straight.
Allison,
and then I come back home about how awful you guys were being about me.
Allison,
She has multiple sources of people.
Yeah.
So don't come for me and try to all be like this humble.
wasn't the truth.
The truth? You don't even know the truth because it's not your story to be told, my guy.
It is my story.
Watch this.
It is my story to be told.
Watch
That's
this.
my friend's kids.
Watch.
It's my husband.
Watch this.
And it was my friend before he was your husband. He was my friend before he was your husband, though.
What?
He was my friend before he was your husband. He was a lot of people's friends. He's not just your husband. He's a lot of people's friends.
He wasn't friends.
He was a lot of people's friends.
Watch this.
You hadn't even ever hung out with us.
There she go, right there.
I ain't even...
Listen to me. So here's what she gonna do. I'm gonna tell you right now what she gonna do. Ask people like Tony Bellissimo, Comfort, his friend. What she'll do is she'll say you weren't his friend. That's what she'll do. She'll say you weren't his friend, right? She'll say you weren't his friend. Anybody that comes out and says anything that got any type of truth, she'll try to say, oh, well, you weren't even his friend. No, nigga, we wasn't your friend.
You even ever hung out with us.
I ain't even hung out with you. What are you talking about?
Yes.
What are you talking about? I ain't hung out with you. I done hung out with him. I done hung out with him.
Come in here to say what we were.
I didn't hang out with him.
A lot of people are all the time.
Nah, I didn't hang out with him. I didn't hang out with you. And that was the situation with a lot of people. People loved him. A lot of people didn't know you.
A lot of, but yeah, because weird. You're, oh my God, crazy. I have my own group of friends.
Yeah, so then don't bring it up then, sweetie. Then don't say stuff like you never even hanged out with us. Don't say that
Weird.
then.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just correcting you on what you just said.
My whole life revolve around Steven. How dare I? How dare I, as a woman in this generation, have outsourced people that I trust?
You're right, but I don't even know why that's even coming up. I'm correcting what you just said about me not hanging out with you.
My personal feelings about something. I never had a conversation with you. Do you know who I'm going to go to?
But we're not talking about, listen, we're not talking about you.
Because I never relied on Steven for those things. I have the same group
You
of
never
friends.
relied on Steven
my
for
best
what?
Friends, and I'm so close with them. They were at our home all the time. They still come see me almost weekly.
Okay.
What are we talking about right
Just
now?
because you are not my
about.
terrible human.
Allison,
what are we talking about right now?
See how she just switched
I'm
subjects?
trying to get you to see right now that just because I don't come to you or the brothers about my personal feelings about something,
But Allison, that's not what we're even talking about.
We ain't even talking about that.
I have my own people that I'm close with, and I've always been close
Allison,
with.
that ain't even what we're talking about.
Were we even talking about that?
Beautiful thing.
But they didn't want to be talking about. You just said, the only reason why I just said what I said was because you said you didn't even hang out with us. I corrected you and said, no, I didn't hang out with you. And that's how we got what we got. Hold on. So here's what I'm saying. All I'm saying, here's what I'm saying, Allison. We keep going off on different things. Here's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things, and I'm going to just be straight up front with you, man. There's a lot of things I didn't like. I didn't like the NDAs in order to go to our friend's funeral.
I'm going to post this receipt because this is really going to end it all. Please stop acting like you cared about my homeboy's mental health in front of People Magazine and all this stuff because I got you. So the next thing I'm about to post is basically her proving that she just really just dismissed his whole mental health because, see, she ain't on camera. When she ain't on camera, she a different person.
Two different views on stuff. So at the end of the day, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
You realize that Stephen left. So when you say
What do you mean Stephen left? Hold on. What do you mean Stephen left?
Stephen would want the family to see his kids. He could have stayed.
Don't say that shit.
It helped.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yes, no, I'm allowed to.
No, you ain't allowed to say no stupid shit like that.
The other side
You ain't allowed to say no stupid shit like that, man. That's fucked up. What you mean he could have stayed?
He could have stayed and been a partner. He could still be helping fathering these children with me. I would love to wake up next to him every single day still. I loved him more than anything.
Shut your ass up.
I still talk to him. He still talks to me. He still comes to me in my dreams. I still ask him for advice. He still guides me. I ain't doing some crazy ass shit. I still communicate with him. I am doing everything I can. And you know what my only job is? It ain't to worry about you. My job is to worry about these 3 kids. And I'm doing a beautiful goddamn job at it.
You think so?
And I protect the hell out of Stephen. And I know I'm doing a great job at it. So I'm not have someone attack my integrity for that.
Why would you, I know nobody attack, you keep using this word attack, it's just crazy to me. And how you can sit there and say what you just said, knowing, I thought you said you knew he had mental issues, I thought you said you knew he was going through stuff, and then you just say some dark shit like, well, I mean, he should have stayed. He should have stayed.
He could have stayed.
Mental, men's mental.
He could have got therapy. He could have talked to someone. He could have asked for
Where
help.
was you at? Why couldn't he talk to you? Why couldn't he talk to you? Y'all was so close, right?
It doesn't have to just
No, y'all was so close, right? Why couldn't he talk to you?
His mother. It could have been.
Because he had a hell of conversations
You
with.
can say that about.
He had a hell of conversations with me about why he couldn't talk to you.
Why couldn't he talk to
You hear
you?
that part? He had a hell of conversations.
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that part?
What?
He had a hell of conversations with me about why he couldn't talk to you.
Sure, my guy.
Yeah.
What do you mean, sure? It's real fucked up to say what you just said. He could just be here. It's like a dismissal. You're dismissing all the shit that he went through up here. But then when you're on social media and you in front of people, oh, he was, going through so much. But then you just say that shit like, well, why ain't he here?
Do you know what he
Why
went
ain't he
through as
here?
a child?
Why ain't he sitting
Do you know
here?
what he went through as a child?
I know a whole bunch of shit he went through. I don't understand why you've been dismissive. Don't change the subject now.
No, I'm asking you like to know if context you do know what his brain was.
Hey, look.
You actually
Listen,
know.
you ask questions to like
No, I'm
redirect.
asking.
You asking me a question to redirect, like that you keep doing it. As if you like just have this know-it-all. You just know more than everybody else. You don't. You don't.
I laid next to this man every
Yeah,
single
guess
night.
what? A lot of women lay next to men. A lot of women lay next to men, especially white women and black men, lay next to them.
It's because of my race.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a lot of white women lay next to black men and don't know shit about what's going on in his mental. A lot of them.
Okay.
Apparently you didn't.
Thank you.
No. Thank you.
Thank
Look what
you.
said about my boy. Like it was just dismissing his mental health. He should just.
I didn't dismiss him.
Yeah, you did. How could you just say that?
But he
How could
still
you?
could have stayed.
Then why ain't he here? Then why didn't you help him?
To leave.
Then why didn't
This
you
is
help
not
him?
my decision.
Then why didn't you
It's
help
his
him?
decision.
Why didn't you help him then? You knew him so well.
I really wish I could have. I've never hit
You knew him so well. Why didn't you help him?
Why didn't you
know
help him?
everything. You know his
I
background.
never said I know everything.
Okay, well, but you saying it. That's what I'm saying. Don't talk like that. If you
I'm not talking like I know everything.
no, but don't be
You
dismissive
think
about his
I
mental health.
cried
No.
every single day for
Don't
almost 2
dismiss
years?
his mental health. That's all I'm saying. Don't dismiss it.
Honey, I'm so over this conversation.
I bet you are. I bet she is over the conversation. There you have it. There you have it.
That was crazy and very telling. This is what I have to say, and I took some notes regarding her saying that Twitch made his mom sign an NDA to come to one of their parties. I'm 1000% sure that the reason why is because there were other celebrities there. Period. Now, it could have just been, yeah, mama, just go ahead and sign this. You know, you can't talk about nothing with nobody, not your friend Geraldine or Esther or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just sign this. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. I'm pretty sure it probably was a party where Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi were going to be at, and God knows who else. So, of course, he would have made his mother sign an NDA for a party that you threw. It is not the same thing as you making his family and friends, including the woman that gave birth to him and raised him, an NDA just to view the body. And I found out that the NDA just wasn't for the funeral attendants, so nobody would leak, you know, pictures or anything like that. The NDA also stated that they could not discuss his life story, anything that was going on with him. They couldn't write a book. They couldn't do anything. They could not say anything about this man, yet and still she could. She has. But she literally wrote it and forbade his mama, brothers, and close friends and family from saying anything about him. And if they didn't sign the NDA, they weren't going to be able to come to the funeral. So, like, what would you do? Not sign the NDA and then not attend your own child's funeral and not get the opportunity to say goodbye? So it's kind of like they did it out of duress, which I would sue. I would sue 1,000%. 1,000%, because that's dirty. That is dirty work. She went on to say that she was advised to do the NDA. Who is advising you to do that? Who is advising you to do? I've never heard about that a day in my life. Who would advise that? What do you have to hide? It's really giving me that this case needs to be reopened, because Lil Mama sound guilty. I'm sorry. She really honestly does. When she said it doesn't matter who it was protecting Steven. The disrespect to his mother and to his brothers and family and friends, like the entitlement of it all. Like, this lady is literally bonkers. And then she said it was a good choice for me. Outside of y'all, I've been celebrated for how I've handled this and protected Steven. It's a lot of me, what she's done and how she feels. And I thought this was about Steven. And what you mean you've been celebrated for how you've handled this? Because the world don't know the ins and outs. I'm pretty sure if we knew about this then, it would have been an uproar. But we didn't know nothing about the fact that you made this man, family, and friends sign an NDA to come to his own homegoing service. It would have been an uproar. But they signed an NDA so they couldn't say nothing. You see what I'm saying? So, girl, bye with that. And then when she brought up to the dude, Emmanuel, you never hung out with us. And he said, I had never hung out with you, ma'am. And she said, we had a lot of people over all the time. He said, I hung out with him. I never hung out with you. And that was the situation with a lot of people. People loved him. A lot of people didn't know you. And she sees that she's backed into a corner because she made it seem like this guy wasn't around and you weren't friends with him like that. And he was like, no, I was very much friends with him, but I was not friends with you. And once he backed her into a corner, she got to stutter and talk, yeah, cuz weird, oh my God, crazy. I have my own group of friends. I didn't have my whole life revolve around Steven. How dare I, as a woman in this situation, have outsourced people that I trust? Once again, it's all about I, me. And that ain't got nothing to do with what that man was talking about. Like, she totally switched it and tried to make herself the victim. Nobody said nothing about you having friends outside of Steven. Friends? What? And as a woman, hear me roar. What? Yeah, she is very manipulative. She is a Karen to the fullest. She gonna switch some stuff around, honey, to make it benefit her. Oh, she's a shiesty white woman. Oh, she a sneaky snake. Like, and he said, we're not talking about you. Like, she has made this situation about her. And then she keeps on saying, I have protected Steven. I have protected Steven. What were you protecting him in the media from? I'm confused. Is it the alleged drug abuse that you said you found paraphernalia? Because I'm trying to figure out what on God's green earth were you protecting his legacy from in the media. And then when she did make the insensitive remark saying he could have stayed. And it's like, well, let me say, she said he could have stayed. And his friend Emmanuel said, I thought you said you knew he had mental problems. And then you go and say some dark stuff like that. He should have stayed. And she said, yeah, he could have stayed. He could have gotten therapy. He could have asked for help. And he says, where was you at? Why couldn't he have talked to you? Y'all were so close, right? He had hella conversations with me. Why he couldn't talk to you? And once again, when he painted her in the corner and called her out, she said, sure, my guy, because she couldn't say nothing back because he know the real. She can't lie to him. And he said, it's real effed up to say what you just said. He could just be here. It's like you're just dismissing all of the ish that he went through up here, talking about his mind. But then when you're on social media and in front of people, oh, he was going through so much. But then you say that ish. And then she said, do you know what he went through as a child? He was like, yeah, I know what he went through as a child. And he, once again, calls her out and says, you ask questions to redirect the conversation. She most certainly does. When the heat is on her, she flips it. She flips it, tries to start another conversation or play victim or play dumb. Total Karen manipulative tactics. And she couldn't play that with him. She couldn't. She could not. Now, one thing that I can say is that when you're dealing with the S word, there is a lot of hurt, pain, and anger there with family members. I myself have dealt with that situation growing up with my uncle who did that. And you wonder why. Why didn't they talk to you? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? And when she says that he could have stayed, he could have did this, he could have did that. And it's like, that's easier said than done. Everybody isn't as mentally strong as you are, you know, and everybody can't deal with stress or drama or whatever, the negativity or mental health issues. Everybody don't have the capacity or the strength to deal with it. So it's easy to say he could have did this, that, and the third. But you don't know how bad it was for him because you're not him. But I'm going to give her grace in this because she was left behind with 3 children, you know. And I understand that there's a lot of anger and hurt and probably disappointment. And she probably feels left and betrayed, you know, because they vowed to be together forever, you know. So I get where the friend is coming from as well, because it's like you are just downplaying what he went through, and that isn't fair to him. So this section right here was very touchy for me. But when she said, I laid next to him every night, and he said a lot of women, especially white women that are with black men, don't know what's going on in their head. And she was like, oh, because of my race. And the dude said, I didn't include it in the video, that he himself was married to a white woman before. So it's not anything about race or him being against interracial marriage. It's just a factor in most interracial relationships, especially when it's a black man with a white woman. They don't get the plight that a black man really goes through. They don't understand. They don't get what's going on in their heads. You know what I'm saying? Hell, us as black women, we barely can figure y'all out, So I understood where he was coming from with that sentiment. The big thing with this whole situation is that this man is gone, and a lot of people, it seems, are trying to place blame somewhere because they're hurt. They are in mourning. They still miss this man. But based on the things that have been coming out here lately involving Allison and the things that she has done and said, the milk ain't clean over there. It is spoiled. She seems like a very obnoxious, selfish, manipulative, selfish, entitled Karen. And a lot of this stuff just ain't adding up for me. It really isn't. It really isn't. And it's giving very much me, I. And she looked real guilty to me. She really honestly does. Even the tone in her voice when talking to him, the way she was saying, I do it again. Like, it was just very flippant. Like, she does not care about how his family and, family members and friends feel. And the fact that, once again, all of these friends of his, white, black, whomever, industry people, have come out against her says a lot. Says a lot. And that marriage was not as great as she claims it was. I call cap. And to be honest with y'all, I never was a Twitch follower like that. I knew of him. I loved him in the Step Up series. I loved him in that. And I would tune into the Ellen show every now and then or whatever. And I even have some of him and Allison's exercise dance routines that I was doing 2 years ago before he passed. But it was always something about her, and I could never really put my finger on it, why I couldn't really see it for her. I don't know what it was. She never said or done anything, but it was just weird with her. It really honestly was. It was just something about her, and I could never figure out what it was that I just never gravitated to. I never saw it for her at all. And regarding that NDA, it has been released via TMZ that his family had to sign an NDA at his funeral, reportedly preventing them from profiting off of his name. It wasn't just about making sure nobody leaked anything about the funeral. It says the agreement required anyone who signed to hand over proceeds from interviews, books, or programs about Twitch directly to Holker, making her the sole person able to financially benefit from his life story. Who is thinking about something like that at a funeral of the love of your life, your husband? Like, who is doing all of that? It's giving me very much foul play. Wow. And then it says in her upcoming memoir, This Far, My Story of Love, Loss, and Embracing the Light, Holker explained that the NDA was implemented to protect her late husband's privacy. I couldn't risk any photo getting leaked to the press or splashed across social media platforms. At the advice of my lawyers, I insisted that everybody who viewed the open casket sign a non-disclosure agreement to protect Stephen's privacy. Holker also faced criticism for revealing details about Twitch I'm going to say alleged smug abuse in the book, addressing the backlash on Instagram. She explained her motivation. My only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as part of my life with Stephen to help others. Once again, if it was all about protecting Stephen and his privacy and his life and his legacy, and at the funeral for people not to take photographs or whatever, which is understandable, but the NDA would not have included, if they do interviews or a book, that any proceeds or any royalties or profit goes to her. Y'all better reopen that case. Y'all better reopen that case. That's all I got to say. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what y'all think about all this, because it is truly a mess. It really honestly is. I love y'all. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.